7. Barrett outside, the switch. Doncic goes, oh, great stop! And then he hammers it home! Broke his ankles!
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Hope all is well. And obviously, Knicks fans, we are not doing well as we just lost to the Boston Celtics, the final score being 133 to 118. We are now under 500 when it comes to the 2022-23 regular season. We are now 4-5 as the Boston Celtics are now 6-3. This game was at Madison Square Garden, and our winning streak ends versus the Boston Celtics when it comes to beating them at Madison Square Garden, as we were 3-0 in our last three matchups versus the Celtics. Just tons of great games, and this was another just a very exciting game to watch. Like, putting a Knicks fan aside, if you're just an NBA fan watching this game was filled of energy. Sadly, the team I was rooting for didn't break a franchise record. The Boston Celtics ended up making 27 three-pointers in this game, which is unacceptable. We're going to be getting into that. I understand they're 10th in the league and they make 37% of their threes, but that is just terrible, and we have to do a lot better job communicating, learning when to go under over screens, knowing when to switch. We shouldn't continuously leave guys open, especially when we're at like 45 minutes through the basketball game, and especially when it's just like, how can we just not figure this out? It's really unacceptable. It's really terrible. And if you're wondering, Al Horford was out of this game due to a back injury. Robert Williams is not going to be back till the second half of the season. Obviously Gallinari tore his ACL, but then you take a look at the New York Knicks, Quentin Grimes. That sore foot continues to haunt him as he was out of this game. At first, he was questionable, but Cam Reddish actually got the start for the New York Knicks. And if you're wondering for the center position, Mitchell Robinson, obviously out with that knee injury, and he's going to be reevaluated in 10 to 11 days. So Cam Reddish got the start, Isaiah Hartenstein got the start, and for the Celtics at the center position, kind of a shocker, Blake Griffin started at that center position. But at the beginning of this game, it was absolutely disgusting what I was seeing on display at Madison Square Garden. Through the first 3 minutes of this game, the Boston Celtics managed to make 5 three-pointers, which were all of their field goals. They just killed us from beyond the arc. Obviously, they're looking for some revenge after RJ hit that game-winning buzzer beater the last time we played Boston, I believe, and then they absolutely erupted in that second half of the season. Jaylen Brown opened up this game with a three. Jason Tatum knocked down a three in this basketball game. Everyone was getting involved when it came to the three-point line, and again, we got to do a better job. We've had this huge problem throughout this entire season defending the three-point line, and obviously another problem that I'm going to be getting into as well. So they're up 15-5. Tom Thibodeau calls a timeout. I did like the way we responded. The Boston Celtics continued to shoot threes. We were just lucky that they went on to miss them, and I thought we contested better. Randall ended up hitting some threes outside on the perimeter. Huge threes. Rose came in, got some buckets, and then we also have to give credit to Cam Reddish on the defense side of the basketball. Cam Reddish didn't put up a crazy amount of points or anything like that, but we did see the defense and how it really just gave energy for RJ offensively and took pressure off of him, because when you have Fournier out there on the floor, that's a turnstile defensively. RJ has to help a lot defensively, and I don't think people realize how much energy you're really putting on the defense side of the basketball, and it's different for all offense, and I feel like that's really benefited RJ these last couple games. But I really did like the way we responded. But continuously, even like we were able to score in this basketball game, but we just weren't able to get stops. It was really ugly. And when we were getting it going, and Rose actually ended up giving us a lead at one point in this game, Jaylen Brown just responds. Jaylen Brown hits a three. Sam Hauser, we weren't able to contest him at all, or we weren't able to contain him. We continuously left him open outside on the perimeter. And even in the second half, like in that third quarter, I'm like, why are we still leaving this guy wide open? Tom Thibodeau's supposed to be this defensive coach. Like, what is he telling these guys? I know it's on the players as well to execute, but is it the scheme? How do these guys keep on managing to get open? The Celtics set some good hard screens, but there has to be miscommunication, because when this game mattered, we still managed to leave guys wide open outside on the perimeter. But D Rose came in, he hit a big three when it came to transition, had a couple nice drives to the basket, but he also had a huge turnover that I'm going to be getting into as well. Jericho Sims was out there for a few minutes, had a nice alley-oop dunk, and he also had a nice block, which I believe was on Jason Tatum working down the lane. And due to turnovers as well, turning the ball over, RJ had a stupid turnover. This team as a whole had some stupid turnovers when it came to that first half, and we had a stagnant patch offensively. And just not being able to contain dribble penetration. Like, Isaiah Hartenstein played his heart out. He had 14 rebounds. I thought he did a pretty solid job distributing the ball. He hustled. He really played hard, but there was times I'm like, where's the help defensively? Where's the help in the paint? And that's maybe a time that we missed Mitchell Robinson's rim presence at times and his athleticism. like, the thing we've learned about this Knicks group is, yeah, maybe we're not the smartest in the world, and we can't make adjustments when it comes to defending the three-point line. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this team is mentally tough, but they honestly have the IQ of a potato. But I like the way this team adjusted. RJ got to the free throw line. Brunson was getting buckets. He did a very good job distributing the basketball. Hartenstein dove on the floor. Brunson got the ball. Found Randall for an and one. I really loved Randall's approach in this game. He knocked down the threes at the beginning, but it didn't feel like that he took a lot of bad shots in this game, and he was aggressive, worked down the lane, used his physicality, which I really did love. I didn't see a lot of settling from Julius Randle, but Brunson's passing was just on full display. I believe he finished with like 21, 22 points, 10 or 11 assists, something around that department. And I have to give credit to RJ Barrett. He hit some big shots in this game. There was a moment he hit back-to-back threes, and one of those threes he actually went on to make was like, he had an efficient, brilliant game, 27 points. But outside of Reddish, this whole team needs work defensively. We just need work just defensively, just communicating out there. One of the threes RJ actually went on to hit in this basketball game. Like, I was like, we got a 1-point lead, and I'm like, this is awesome momentum. We just came back from like 14 points. We go on this amazing run. We're going to enter halftime with a 1-point lead. But the big Achilles heel with this team is we allow offensive rebounds in big spots, and we allowed Brogdon to get an offensive rebound, put it up and in, which gave us like 2 milliseconds left when it came to like a last shot, when it came to that second quarter. So the Celtics actually ended up having that 1-point lead entering halftime. But credit to RJ, I thought he played aggressive and he got the ball more, so we got to see like what RJ's been working on. He's always had that turnaround fadeaway that he knocked down in this game, but we're just starting to see it more on display because I believe we just gave him more touches within the flow of the offense. But we just got to be better on defense. We were able to score the basketball, but the defense was atrocious. So I'm like, all right, we're feeding off some momentum. But when it comes to third quarter, we've been atrocious, especially in that Hawks game, especially in that Sixers game. We've been outscored like 1,000,000 points to 2. Like, obviously not really, but we've just been that atrocious. So how are we going to come out? Jalen Brunson comes out, very nice dribble penetration, 1-point lead. But, you know, Marcus Smart responds with a 3 of his own, and they're just continuously knocking down threes. But then there's dribble penetration being allowed as well. So it's just a huge question mark. How are we going to play in that third quarter? How are we going to hold up in that third quarter? And Brunson just really put this team on his back when it came to the third, especially knocking down those step-back mid-range jumpers. He had nice vision, a nice heads-up play, finding Cam Reddish, I believe, in this game as well. But there was one moment that really frustrated me that we're scoring, can't get stops, but RJ has a strong, aggressive drive to the basket. He recognized the mismatch of Sam Hauser. He's stronger than him, a lot more athletic than him as well, working on the lane, finished very well, 3-point play, knocked down his free throws, which I absolutely loved. Rose knocks down a very nice 3, and we had a chance to maybe take the lead for like the second or third time in this game. We didn't have the lead a lot in this game. The Celtics were mainly in control no matter how close this got. Rose just, like, he's a veteran. He shouldn't be making this mistake. We had a chance to take a 1-point lead, or a lead in general. It was 1 or 2-point lead. Rose in transition jumps on his pass, and I'm like, all right, you can't, like, once you're in the air, you have to make a quick, decisive decision and just trust someone's open, because once you're in the air, it could result in a travel, result in a turnover, because if you come down with it, obviously it is a turnover. You air mails the pass, or it's travel. You air mails the pass out of bounds, and that was just a huge blow overall for this team. But like, this became a 1-point game. Sometimes it was a 7-point game because we would have stagnant patches and leaving guys open outside on the perimeter. Jaylen Brown cooking, Jason Tatum cooking, just no matter what, we just had no answer. Honestly, when it came to the defense side of the basketball, defending them. Malcolm Brogdon, he's not the most athletic in the world, but he's pretty shifty. He's very nice, like, using his, like, just his body control when it comes to his hips, working down the lane. And Hartenstein, again, played his ass off, but when it comes to, like, just the athleticism, I did think we missed some of that athleticism when it came to Mitch, but he was more disciplined than past games. I really do believe that, just watching from an eyeball test, not looking at the fouls. Just my fast reaction right here. Yeah, Hartenstein had 3 fouls. He used to pick that up. I feel like he picked up those 3 fouls usually like in a quarter, like 2 quarters, I felt like, in the past. But that throwaway by Rose was huge. And when it looked like this game was starting to go away, when we would have rough patches offensively in that fourth quarter, you know, we're scoring, but then the scoring kind of went away, and then the defense was atrocious. It went from us allowing 3-pointers, again, 27 made 3-pointers, franchise record. That is very bad. Like, Blake Griffin knocked down a 3. Noah Vonleh knocked down a 3. Like, a Knicks fan, when it came to halftime, knocked down a 3. So, again, I can't... Just be better defending the perimeter. We must make adjustments. We must work on that in practice. We must work on not allowing offensive rebounds and just pounding the glass and just being a beast when it comes to the interior. Because when we went on a little bit of a run in that fourth quarter, we allowed Noah Vonleh to get an offensive rebound, former Knick. Strange coincidence. And Luke Cornett did not go on to play in this basketball game. But Obi Toppin, I thought, played pretty well. Like, when we were down like 10 points at one point in that fourth quarter, Obi Toppin knocked down a three. He had a very nice drive to the basket, using that athleticism. I thought he was playing pretty well. Yes, he missed a couple shots, but I thought Obi played well. And I didn't like that Tom Thibodeau took him out in a certain spot. But it got to the point that it's just like we had no, like, we ran out of energy, it felt like, offensively, and the Celtics kind of finally did kind of adjust to us defensively. Not fully. Both these teams were atrocious defensively, but Tatum ended up knocking down a ridiculous step back three. We just at the end of the day, we were not able to make adjustments. And Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are star level players. Yes, both these teams are bad defensively, but the Celtics just made their shots from the outside, and you just can't allow that. Like, the Celtics were bad defensively, but we were really bad. Let's just say that. Randall ended up picking up a flagrant at the end of the game. Got very frustrated, but RJ, Randall, Brunson, all balanced games. When it came to scoring, it was awesome seeing a well-balanced attack offensively, but defensively, we have a long way to go. Reddish, I love the way he competed defensively, but we needed more from the bench. I felt like we needed more from Quickly. If the bench stepped up, maybe it would have been a different story. But again, if you can't defend the three-point line, if you have stupid turnovers in big moments, it does not matter. It sucks. Frustrating game, and the final score does not really equal how this game was. This was a pretty competitive game, but obviously for the result and the final outcome, the Celtics went on to win. But let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all.